Feel like a billion, whoa. Feel like I might feel like a oh.
Welcome back to my channel. I'm so happy that you're back. I know it's been a minute, it's been a while, but I'm back now. Don't worry, I took a mini hiatus, was also so busy with work and completing a course online for a certificate. I'm done with that now, but I apologize for the delay. I know the last video I uploaded was 2 weeks ago.
I wanna say I'm sorry for the things I've done, and I try and be stronger.
But I apologize. I know you guys miss me. I miss you guys too. But you guys can forgive me for that. I hope you guys are not mad. But don't worry, I'm back again. I'm so looking forward still to my upcoming videos. So I decided to do a little video before my reaction to Shoot 'Em and Fighter. But I also want to talk about how the views is crazy. Like my last video is almost at 3,000 views, and I'm so excited to continue this Shoot 'Em and Fighter reaction, or just overall K-pop, K-dance reaction journey. But I'm really shocked that I got that much views in like the span of 2 weeks. That's the most viewed videos that I've created, also the most liked videos that I've received. So I really am thankful for all the likes and the love that I've been receiving, and I've been seeing some other messages, but I'm overall just very thankful for the views and the likes and the comments. You know what I'm gonna say? Make sure you subscribe, like, and comment. Once again, thank you for taking the time out of your day to come watch my videos, and let's go. So ATL, so ATL, so ATL, so ATL, and I'm like so ATL, so ATL, so ATL, so ATL, so ATL. First unpopular opinion is, I'm gonna start with a bang. Let's start off with just like work culture, work life. I feel like sometimes with work, as I'm exploring or learning more of my young adult life, I think I've learned so much. Even though I'm new to it, it's so freshly new, but I've learned so much from it, and I've learned a lot about myself. I'm more patient than I thought I could ever be. I think work is a learning experience. So people ask me, oh my god, how's job going on, or how's work going? I always tell them it's a learning experience. One a mentor have told me was basically like separating your personal feelings with your work feeling. I've gotten better. I think when I first started off, my personal emotions was mixed into my work emotions. What I mean by that, like if someone talks to you about something and like it hurts your feeling, like I'm not saying like a coworker / supervisor should not disrespect you, but there was a time when that's happened, and you should not stick up for yourself. But I've learned that like at the end of the day, like don't take it personal. Like these people, they will clock in, do what they have to do, and then leave. I've learned that a little bit, and like I've learned just to do what I gotta do and then clock out. I hate saying that, but it's the truth, because sometimes it's hard, like being an adult and like learning about job and like exploring the career options, and like it's a lot. But those are the two things that I feel like it should be discussed more. I think with a generation, especially since like a lot of us are young adults, Gen Z, I think we're just told like, yeah, you graduate college, you go to work, but like sometimes like the work experience or the job career experience is not really discussed. So that's what I would say is just like when you're working in a space with other people, knowing you're working with X amount of individual and X amount of mind, so people work and function differently. I think we all knew that, but still it's important that I keep repeating that. Second of all, just make sure once you go to work, like don't take anything personal and do what you gotta do, because at the end of the day, like take it personal, the person who kind of made you react that way, they're not gonna, they can care less at the end of the day. So that's that. Going on in the media or like in the news, as we know, for example, the Cassie and Diddy, well, it's not even Cassie and Diddy, it's just the Diddy charge case. I want to talk about that. I think for those who don't know or don't know who Diddy is like, or was like the top like music producer, name it. He worked with B.I.G., Mary J. Blige, like you name it. Like he was like the top like I don't even know what to say because he did so many things, like producer, businessman. I remember growing up like listening to like some of his songs in the early 2000s because like he always producing music. I remember him especially because Cassie, if you don't know Cassie, she was an up and coming singer songwriter in the early 2000s. Like she was pretty young like when she started off. She's from New England, she was from Connecticut, and she was signed onto Bad Boys, or like Diddy's record. And I feel like we all know about the case because like her part or her situation has been discussed everywhere. But if you don't know, she was signed under Diddy's label to produce a 10 album. You know, listen to Cassie, like people always said that she was a one-hit wonder or she didn't produce as much songs. It's because this whole situation. So it all started with Cassie testifying or filing a claim about her experience being abused. I'm not even gonna say dating Diddy. She was literally being abused for years. She just described her experience being with Diddy and all the horrible things that he did. I'm not gonna go any further because I feel like all of us should know what this is. Because of that, and they were able to find more information about how Diddy was involved in trafficking. So that's the purpose of his whole case. A lot of people have been noticing me say, oh, this is the Cassie and Diddy case. No. Her part, it's only a section of his trial. The last week, Cassie had to testify against Diddy, probably thinking, why? Right? Why is this a big deal? She recently did that like about a couple months ago, right? Imagine she's gonna have to re-explain herself in front of a court, jurors, and then all the lawyers about her experience with Diddy. Mind you, she's also 8 months pregnant. So it's a very traumatic experience to explain like what you've gone through for years. And mind you, she went through so much to recover to get to where she is right now, because there's moments where she was committing self-exiting. If it was a husband, Alex Fine, for literally saving her life. I don't mean like saving her life, like literally stopping her from like committing, she would not be here physically with us, from what I've been seeing or hearing online. So it's important that like I bring that up because it just shows you how traumatic her experience was. So in the trial, she's explaining what her experience was, talking about the freak offs. If you don't know what the freak off is, basically the time where she was basically abused by Diddy. It was like a weekly thing. She described it as like it was a job. I really don't want to go into further because it's quite deep. If you really want to know what happened in the freak off, like there's a bunch of articles that discuss the trial and her statement, but it was just her being abused. Literally, it was a weekly thing with Diddy, and like it involved other people. That's all I'm gonna say. I've been seeing a lot of things regarding this case. The first thing I've been seeing people saying, oh well, that's not true. Mind you, TMZ leaked a full video of Cassie trying to escape a hotel room, and Diddy's literally chasing her down. Another thing that I've been seeing, which I hate when it comes to DV, and there's a pattern we've seen, people say, oh, why can't they leave? Referring back to that same video, we literally see her trying to run, trying to escape, trying to leave the hotel room, trying to leave Diddy. And what do we see? Diddy with a towel chasing her in the hotel lobby and dragging her, literally dragging her. And people have the ass to be like, oh well, she should have left, as we see her trying to leave and escape her abuser. And that's the thing, I think people are insensitive when it comes to DV, where like people always tend to find a way to blame, I don't want to say victim, but survivors, or either victims or survivor of DV. They tend to blame them for the abuser's action, which is like, no. She literally tried to escape. She was threatened. People who were near her, such as like other people who wanted to be close with her, like were threatened, like being hanged on like the balcony, or their car being blown up, like. And you expect her to be like, yeah, I'm gonna leave. It's hard, as we see. Another thing that I've been seeing that's just been really annoying me, it was like, well, with the money he had, I would have stayed. No, you wouldn't. No. No, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't. I'm like, I'm like, are we hearing the same thing that she's been through or she's gone through? And the fact that like I have so much respect for her. I always did as like a singer and like a entertainer, but for her to come through all of that and make it and be able to talk about her experience in a court is like, oh my gosh. People are like, oh yeah, I would have said he has money. And I'm sorry, you're being constantly abused and you're gonna say for the money as if money is gonna solve everything. He has control over your life. You have no freedom. The apartment that you live in, he owns. The where you work is his job. Where you go, you have nowhere to go, and you would say because of the money and constantly getting hit and abused and being forced to do things you don't want to do with people you don't want to do for like years, nearly a decade. No, I think people tend to put money above their own safety and their own free will because there's no one that would want to stay of years of being tortured. No one would stay for the money. I know I wouldn't. But if you whoever's watching, not just you whoever's watching this, but for those who say, oh I would, no you wouldn't. You will never know what it's like to experience something until you experience it yourself. Like hearing it is just horrible, but to experience that for years nonstop, you wouldn't. And the reason why people say, oh I would say, is because you haven't experienced that. You haven't gone through that. You have the privilege of waking up in the morning, going to work and do what you want, and don't have anyone who's stalking you, date whoever you want, and not have someone basically torture or if not threaten the person that you're dating. No, you would not survive. I'm just being honest. I hate hearing people say like, oh this and the third, like, oh I would have stayed. No you wouldn't. Another thing that's upsetting me is that Cassie's husband Alex Fine was present with her at the trial and being a very supportive husband as he should be, making sure everything's okay and also like trying to protect his wife, who mind you was 8 months pregnant, and make sure she's good. A lot of people are like, oh well, it must be hard for her husband to hear all the things that she's gone through. I'm sorry. Do you not know how they met? Did you not hear me say basically how he saved her and supported her? Well, Cassie saved herself first, but she had support from her husband. Alex was Diddy's personal trainer. That's how they met. Because he's a professional trainer. He was Diddy's professional trainer, and Diddy was like, oh I want you to train Cassie. From training and getting to know each other, he noticed some things were off. He was like, what the, this is not weird. And also, side note, Alex has a personal relation or connection to DV because his mom has gone through the same thing, so he was able to pick up the patterns real quick. So when it came to like for her to leave or escape, it didn't make sense because like I remember when they first announced they were dating, people like, oh my god, like she cheated on Diddy with him. That's how she was labeled at first. I remember seeing that live action, and then there was a moment where like Alex kept posting just like some crazy stuff about Diddy, and like all of us were like super confused. You're like, what? And then the whole thing was announced, and we were like, oh I get it now. So a lot of people were like, oh I feel bad he probably doesn't know this. He was probably the first person who knew all of this, that she trusted to tell and all that, but he saw some of it. He saw signs, he saw the bruises, he picked up on stuff because his family, he has a personal connection to seeing of DV, knowing DV domestic violence. So just hearing people like, oh my god, he's strong, I could never, then that's on you. Then you will never be capable of loving someone. Never. The fact that Alex is able to love Cassie, show support, make her the happiest that she's ever been, give her 3 kids, and stick with her throughout everything. That's because he truly loves her and she truly loves him, and they were meant for each other. But for people saying, oh my god, if my girl did that, she's part of that, I will leave. then you will never have the experience of loving someone. And I hope whoever you end up loving leaves, because people tend to forget what the true meaning of love is, of what it means to support someone through the worst. And that's fine. Like, you can continue not supporting someone that you love while Alex and Cassie are living their best life, other than this whole situation of like the trial and like reliving everything. They could continue living their best life with their kids, knowing that they have each other, while you are probably single and trying to find someone and can't stay committed with someone. That's the truth. Like, any person, if someone who they care about is going through some stuff, I'm not gonna leave. I'm gonna stick by them. Like, he literally had, like, there's no doubt that he would never not have her back. Like, was there since day one, helped her escape everything. So I really hope I find a guy like Alex Fine. Like, what? He is the standard. You know what I mean? So I'm not gonna let him. I'll be like, oh, like, don't praise him. Like, that's a lot for both people to go through. Like, especially Cassie. But yeah, I commend him for being like, just being there for her and being the standard. So I think that's very beautiful. We've seen throughout these cases when it comes to entertainment and like black singers, black women expressing their concerns and having actual proof, we tend to see people disregard that. Like Cassie, Hallie, Megan, proof. People were questioning, oh, did she get shot? So do we not see her leg bleeding? Are we still looking at the same leg? So let's still look at the same foot? I hope we are, because I see her, there's blood and a bullet wound from what I saw. So it's a common thing that I've been seeing, and it's just been so crazy, and like, it makes no sense. Another thing came up was when regarding Kai and Zoe. I want to get into that. Before I do, let me just give you a brief summary of like what the situation is, what people have been saying, and then my thought. So, as you know, Cenat, he's a big streamer, one of the biggest streamers in the whole entire world. He has been streaming for the past couple of years, and he announced like a couple weeks ago, all his streams, they have themes. Like, they'll have like streamathon, like game night, whatever. This month or whatever, this theme of the stream that he's upcoming is Streamer University, basically where he has a bunch of streamers or content creators apply to be part of Streamers University, and they'll have them on a campus at a school and like stream. And also, it's a good way to kind of promote yourself and help bring up and elevate your views and like your fans. It's a really good opportunity, because like, as we know, like anything that Kai touch, it gets famous, more famous. So he decided to do that, and like, it was so big that the application like froze. Like, it froze. They had like over a million people apply for the application, which was really cool. They had to like literally the team had to look through all the videos, which was funny, because imagine having like a million people apply just to be part of Streamers University. That's more than like any regular college. So that was really funny. So with that, Kai announced the people who were going to be participating in the Streamer University right? So it's announcing, some of the people he was announcing are his friend crew, like Talil, Ray, or Kai, just people he usually hangs around with who also does streaming. So then like, there's another streamer named Zoe. She is also friends with Kai and like Talil and all of them, and like, I remember like, I know Zoe as well, and I mean like, no, like I know her, but like, I watch her stream sometimes, and I remember seeing her a lot with the crew, with the Kai and P a lot in New York, because she's also from New York and Kai's from New York. So it was announced that she wasn't accepted, and people were a bit confused. They're like, yo, does it make sense how Zoe wasn't accepted into the streaming thing? And yeah. So then Kai explains his reasoning, which I'm gonna put here. Let's take a look.
She said there's like this narrative of me not fucking with her, or like there's some type of weird shit going on. It started here, September 24th in Atlanta. I ain't never say nothing, and I ain't gonna lie, I'm not holding this against you. I'm not putting it past you, because I know who you are as a person. September 24th, Drewski show. I never got to tell you how that shit made me feel, because of who you are and how your humor and like how you are as a person. Nigga, I dead ass for the first time, and my bad I didn't get to like talk about it with you, but like felt secondhand embarrassed, like felt embarrassed. If y'all see that clip, like at one point I told her to chill.
About something that happened between her and him on December 24th, where he kind of felt like hand embarrassment, and where like he never really discussed that with her, and that's another thing where I feel like needs to be discussed. I feel like a lot of people, especially I don't know if it's our generation, don't know how to communicate about how they feel with someone did something wrong to them. I'm not gonna say I don't know what happened or what Zoe did to make him upset or whatever, but I feel like sometimes people don't know, and you need to communicate that. And some people are like saying like, oh, Zoe's loud, she's aggressive, this and third, but it's like, okay, that's who she is. And second of all, the group in general, have we not seen Kai's live, like his streams? If it's not firework, it's a whole dance party. Like him, all his friends, Rakai, like it's one or the other. It's fireworks, dance party, being evicted, and that like it's always something. Starting the whole situation in New York where like the police were involved. So like I don't understand how like she is chaotic or she's too much, but if not, you're the same, and you're the same, but if not more or worse. Not worse, but like have the same amount of energy. So that reasoning didn't make any sense to me. So now we're gonna watch a few people's their thoughts on like the whole Kai and Zoe thing, and then come back to it.
For you to sit there and say, I felt secondhand embarrassment on September 24th, and my bad for not talking to you about it, is crazy. And the only reason why I say it's crazy, because I feel like as a person, or even as a friend, or even as somebody that you had love for at some point in time, you could have called her. That's corny to me. You could have called her. You could have called her. You could have stepped her aside and have this type of conversation. Now, you probably did already, but at the same time, bringing it on the internet and how you said it was horrible, because you're making it seem like you been not fucking with the girl. However, though, you did mention that you ain't speak. You haven't been keeping up with Zoe since September 24th, when you felt the secondhand embarrassment. Not only did you mention how you felt since September, you also mentioned how there was a situation with one of your friends. Then proceeded to say, it's none of my business to talk about. So you made it even more personal than what it had to be. And I feel like because of that, you could have called her. But you want to start off by giving her props and how she deserves opportunities. But on your platform, she won't get it. And that's respected. That's respected, because at the end of the day, this is your platform. And you don't want nobody that you don't want on there.
Hey y'all, I forgot to add an additional component to this whole situation. So with this whole Kai and Zoe situation, there's another YouTuber or streamer who is pretty well known throughout the years, and he is known for putting his input, or he kind of talked about his opinion, but the way he discussed his opinion was quite, frankly to me, disrespectful and out of character, and literally called Zoe everything but her name. So he's talking about how like she's too masculine and this and the third, and I'm gonna the next couple of videos would be people reacting between the beef or the drama between Zoe and Soul Lunani. So take a look, and then that's why I wanted to just do this voiceover to briefly explain why you see this random guy, or not random guy, but this guy on the screen talking about his side. I just wanted to basically give you a summary, and you'll see what people were talking about, mostly about Zoe and Soul Lunani. So that's why I wanted to give the context before continuing the next videos, because this all ties and this is all important.
Are y'all okay? Like, are y'all okay? Anybody who agrees with Solomonati in this situation, Zoe is literally having a super vulnerable moment right now in front of the world. And Solomonati grown ass decided to give his unprovoked reaction, rude, unprovoked reaction to her situation, nothing to do with him, calling her masculine and immature and saying she's a bully and annoying.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie, bruh. Obviously, bro, at the end of the day, I'm a regular ass nigga. My opinion does not matter at all. And I don't even be speaking on what other content creators be doing. But no cap, Zoe Spencer, you starting beef with Soul Illuminati is the dumbest shit you could ever do in your career, bro.
Motherfuckers like this getting in black people business, man. Cause she know damn well she wouldn't let this bitch right here be talking to her people like that. But she wanna jump in black people business, gang. Say, oh, I'm telling you right now. I'm telling you right now. I shit on the US, gang. I ain't talking about that. Bitch, go.
Kai literally made up an excuse. I'm not gonna say it's Gigi, but bitch, let's be for real. If you didn't fuck with the girl, you could have just said that. You mean to tell me that you cut the girl off because she said, oh, Kai, y'all won't see me on the Kai stream no more because Kai got a girlfriend, you know, da-da-da. You gonna ask yourself, why would you not be around because I got a girlfriend? Bitch, we all say when our friends get a nigga or a girl, you be like, oh, we not finna talk to you no more. You not finna be... Let's be for real. He literally made excuse. He was lying. He was literally lying. Now, if it was Gigi, which it sounds like it is her, because why? What other reason would he not want to be around her?
I saw that. I'm after watching the video and seeing everything, I'm still gonna support Zoe because the whole masculine and having a lot of energy excuse doesn't make any sense to me. And I feel like if Kai was embarrassed as a friend, I would have been like, pulled you to the side, like, yo, listen, what you did was a little bit crazy. I don't know how I feel about this, but as your friend, I'm looking out for you. Can you tone it down a little bit? Because, like, I don't know about you, but when I have friends, there are times when they've told me, like, you know, like, I feel like you should be able to be friends with someone who's able to look out for you, wants the best for you, but are able to communicate to you how they feel in their thoughts. Like, I know it's not easy because you don't want to hurt the person's feelings, but at the end of the day, you're friends. Like, you don't want to not communicate and cause even more friction because, like, not communication, as we see, cause tension between a friendship. So I feel like it's important that Kai should have communicated if he felt secondhand embarrassment, saying, hey Zoe, this is what I felt, this is why. And like, probably Zoe would have reciprocated, like, yeah, okay, I understand, or she's probably like, I don't care. But if so, you did your part as a friend, you were able to communicate. Then if you said that, then I would be like, yeah, if Kai communicated with you separately and you didn't want to listen, then, you know, but you didn't, so how is she supposed to know? That's one thing. Another thing is the masculine thing. Of course, black women being masculine and everything, and like, I don't understand how, I guess some people, they see it differently. Like, I was watching people online saying like, Zoe's from New York, this time. I'm not saying like all women from New York are like masculine presenting, but it's just her persona. Like, it's just how she feels comfortable and best. Like, of course she's gonna, her being outspoken and herself is viewed as masculine, like all that, but everyone has a masculine and feminine side that, you know, one side might be present than the other. We all do, because we're all human. Like, I'm not all feminine. Like, we all have masculine and feminine traits. Like, it's normal because we're all human beings. So the idea of like, oh, she's a masculine trait, she can't be showing that. What are the exact masculine trait? And if so, why does it matter? Because at the end of the day, she's a human being. We all have that in ourselves. It's part of how we evolved and survived for hundreds, thousands of years. I understand. I would love to know how. How is she mostly masculine? In what way? Please. And like, I would love to know. So the excuse really triggers me when people say like, oh, we love. Okay, and like I said again, the group she's around, Kai, AMP. For those who watch AMP, isn't it just pure chaos? Lately, they've been, you know, in the middle of toning it down, but there's times where it's just pure chaos. I've been a fan of AMP for years. Like, I remember watching them in undergrad and graduate school. Like, it's just pure chaos, and like, you need, if you're gonna be, I always thought like, if I'm gonna be around that group of people, I need energy. And that's why I was like, oh my god, I can never, because I'm very introvert, but like, I'm fun, but at times I'm like, my social battery is like, but with that group, you need to stay consistent, you need to have energy. If you don't, it's not gonna work well. So that's why I'm like very confused of like, oh, she's doing too much, but it's like, if you're a group where like energy and doing too much is what gives content, how is that an issue now? Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. But that's really my thought, this whole situation, in my unpopular opinion. Let me know what you guys think. Do you agree with Zoe or Kai? What is your thought on this video? Please remember to keep it respectful. At the end of the day, like, this is my thoughts. I respect all people who in the streaming, in the content creator world, like, this is my thought on the situation. Like, Kai's overall, like, his work ethic is amazing, but I just wish he handled the situation a bit better. But I do wish that Kai and Zoe had a separate conversation privately. But I'm not saying this person's wrong, but I just wish it was handled properly. But let me know what you guys think. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. Please share, please like, please comment, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Bye.
Oh, feeling